necessary. I just need to really pat you down real quick. You're good.
And one. Anybody else want to back down?
The walls are closing in. SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis just dropped a bombshell that's about to tear this entire storyline apart, and I'm telling you right now what you're about to hear will change everything you thought you knew about the bloodline, about loyalty, about betrayal, and about the vicious attack that left Jacob Fatu broken and bloodied in that parking lot. This isn't speculation anymore. This isn't fan theory. This is real. The attacker has been exposed, and the fallout is going to be nuclear. Before we dive into this chaos, I need you to do something for me, and I'm asking from the heart here. If you love wrestling the way I do, if you live for these moments that make your jaw drop and your heart race, then hit that subscribe button right now. Join the SLAMZONE family. We're building something special here, a community of passionate wrestling fans who aren't afraid to dig deep, to feel every emotion, to celebrate every triumph and mourn every betrayal together. Smash that notification bell because when stories like this break, you need to be the first to know. Drop a comment below and tell me your prediction. Who do you think attacked Jacob Fatu? Let's talk about this together. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know because this revelation is too massive to keep to yourself. Let me take you back to where this nightmare began. Picture this, a dimly lit parking garage, shadows dancing across concrete walls, the distant sound of car engines and footsteps echoing through the cold night air. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, one of the most feared enforcers in WWE, lying motionless on the ground, his body battered, his face twisted in pain. The attack was brutal. It was personal. It was calculated. And for weeks, we've been left in the dark, wondering who would dare cross the bloodline like this. Who would be bold enough, crazy enough, or desperate enough to put a target on their back by taking down one of Roman Reigns' most trusted soldiers? The speculation has been running wild. Social media exploded with theories. Was it Cody Rhodes looking to weaken the bloodline before his next big confrontation? Was it Kevin Owens continuing his vendetta? Could it have been someone from within the bloodline itself, a power play, a coup, a family member hungry for more power and willing to sacrifice loyalty for ambition? The possibilities seemed endless, and with each passing week, the mystery only deepened. You could feel the tension building on SmackDown. Every segment, every promo, every backstage confrontation had this underlying current of suspicion and paranoia. Roman Reigns was on edge, his usual calm confidence replaced by something darker, something more volatile. Solo Sikoa was demanding answers, his rage barely contained as he searched for the culprit. And Jimmy Uso? You could see the conflict in his eyes, torn between family loyalty and the growing realization that maybe, just maybe, the enemy was closer than anyone wanted to admit. Nick Aldis has been conducting his investigation quietly, methodically, like a detective piecing together a puzzle where every piece matters. He's been reviewing security footage, interviewing witnesses, following leads that went nowhere, hitting dead ends that only made him more determined. And through it all, he's kept his cards close to his chest, not revealing anything until he was absolutely certain. Because in WWE, accusations without proof can destroy careers, shatter relationships, and ignite wars that nobody's ready to fight. But last night on SmackDown, everything changed. The atmosphere in that arena was electric. You could sense that something monumental was about to happen. The crowd was buzzing with anticipation, that special kind of energy that only comes when fans know they're about to witness history. And when Nick Aldis' music hit, when he walked down that ramp with a folder in his hand and that serious, unmistakable look on his face, the entire building went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Every single person in that arena and everyone watching at home knew this was it. The moment of truth had arrived. Aldis stepped into the ring, microphone in hand, and you could see the weight of what he was about to reveal pressing down on his shoulders. This wasn't just about solving a mystery. This was about justice. This was about maintaining order in a locker room that's been on the verge of chaos for months. He looked directly into the camera, and his words cut through the silence like a knife. I know who attacked Jacob Fatu. I have the proof. And tonight, I'm going to expose them in front of the entire world. The crowd erupted. Phones were out, cameras were flashing, and the energy in that building reached a fever pitch. Social media was going insane in real time. Hashtags were trending within seconds. Wrestling Twitter was melting down. And everyone watching, from the hardcore fans who followed every twist and turned to the casual viewers who tuned in just to see what the hype was about, everyone was on the edge of their seats. Aldis opened that folder, his hands steady despite the magnitude of what he was about to reveal. He pulled out photographs, security camera stills that showed crystal clear evidence of what happened that night in the parking garage. The Titantron lit up with the images, and as they flashed across the screen, frame by frame, piece by piece, the story began to unfold in devastating detail. You could see the attacker approaching from the shadows, their movements deliberate and predatory. You could see the weapon, a steel chair, held with lethal intent. You could see the moment of impact, the vicious strikes that left Jacob Fatu defenseless and broken. And then came the moment we'd all been waiting for, the moment that would change everything. Aldis paused, letting the tension build to an almost unbearable level. The arena held its collective breath. And then he said the name. He revealed the identity of Jacob Fatu's attacker, and the reaction was instantaneous. Shock, disbelief, anger, confusion. The crowd didn't know whether to boo, to cheer, or to simply sit in stunned silence trying to process what they'd just heard. I don't want to spoil it completely for those who haven't watched the full segment yet, because you need to see Nick Aldis deliver this revelation with your own eyes. You need to experience that moment in its full intensity, but what I can tell you is this: the person responsible is someone nobody expected. This isn't the obvious choice. This isn't the predictable villain we all thought it would be. This is a twist that cuts deeper because it strikes at the very heart of everything we thought we understood about loyalty, about family, about the Bloodline's hierarchy. The implications are massive. If you're a fan of the Bloodline storyline, and let's be honest, it's been the most compelling narrative in WWE for years now, this revelation doesn't just add another chapter. It rewrites the entire book. It forces us to go back and re-examine every interaction, every alliance, every moment of tension we dismissed as nothing more than typical family dysfunction. Because now, knowing what we know, everything looks different. Every sideways glance, every hesitation, every word left unspoken suddenly carries new meaning and new weight. Think about what this means for Roman Reigns. The tribal chief has built his empire on the foundation of family loyalty, blood before everything, the bloodline above all else. But what happens when that foundation cracks? What happens when the person you trusted, the person you elevated, the person you brought into your inner circle, turns out to be the snake in the grass? How does Roman respond? Does he seek revenge with the full force of his wrath? Does he try to understand the why behind the betrayal? Or does this fracture something fundamental in his leadership, creating an opening for his enemies to exploit? And what about the attacker themselves? What drove them to this moment of ultimate betrayal? Was it jealousy watching Jacob Fatu receive praise and opportunities while they felt overlooked and undervalued? Was it ambition, a calculated move to remove competition and climb the hierarchy? Was it resentment that had been building for months, years even, finally boiling over into violence? Understanding the motive is just as important as knowing the identity, because it tells us what comes next, what kind of conflict we're heading toward, and whether there's any possibility of redemption or if this is a point of no return. The wrestling community is absolutely divided right now. Some fans are applauding the twist, calling it brilliant storytelling that nobody saw coming. Others are shocked and questioning whether this revelation makes sense within the broader narrative. Does it honor the character's established motivations and relationships? Or does it feel like a shock for shock's sake? And you know what? That debate, that passionate discussion, that's what makes being a wrestling fan so incredible. We're not passive observers. We're invested. We care about these characters and these stories in a way that goes beyond simple entertainment. Listen, I know I'm asking again, but this is important to me, to us, to this community we're building together. If you're still watching right now, if you've made it this far into this video, it means you're as passionate about this as I am. It means you understand that wrestling isn't just about the moves and the matches, it's about the stories, the emotions, the moments that make us feel something real. So please, if you haven't already, hit that like button for me. It helps more than you know. Subscribe to SlamZone and become part of this family. Ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment when stories like this unfold. And drop a comment. I read every single one, and I love hearing your thoughts, your theories, your reactions. This channel exists because of you, and I want to make content that speaks to what you love about wrestling. Now, let's talk about where this story goes from here, because Nick Aldis dropping this revelation is just the beginning. The real drama, the real fireworks, the real emotional devastation, that's all still to come. We're heading into a powder keg situation where every episode of SmackDown from now until WrestleMania season could deliver explosive confrontations that leave us breathless. The bloodline has to respond. There's no way around it. Roman Reigns doesn't let betrayal slide. He doesn't forgive and forget. His entire character is built on maintaining dominance through fear, respect, and the unbreakable bond of family. When that bond is shattered, when someone violates the sacred trust that holds the bloodline together, the consequences have to be severe. We're talking about a potential beatdown that rivals anything we've seen before. We're talking about a match maybe at the next premium live event where scores are settled in the most brutal fashion possible. But here's where it gets really interesting. The bloodline is already fractured. We've seen the cracks forming for months. GUSO left. Jimmy USO has been conflicted. Tensions between different members have been simmering just below the surface. This revelation could be the catalyst that causes everything to completely fall apart. When trust is broken at this level, when paranoia sets in and everyone starts wondering who else might betray them, alliances crumble. And when the bloodline crumbles, the entire SmackDown landscape shifts. Other wrestlers who've been waiting in the wings, biding their time, watching for weakness, they're going to pounce. They're going to see this as their opportunity to strike while the iron is hot. Imagine the possibilities. Cody Rhodes has been trying to finish his story, trying to dethrone Roman Reigns and prove that he belongs at the top of WWE. What better time to make his move than when the bloodline is imploding from within? Kevin Owens has his own vendetta, his own reasons for wanting to see Roman's empire burn. AJ Styles, LA Knight, Austin Theory, there are so many hungry competitors on SmackDown who would kill for the chance to capitalize on this chaos. And let's not forget about the attacker's perspective in all of this. They've been exposed. Their secret is out. There's no going back now, no pretending it didn't happen, no smoothing things over with apologies and excuses. They're in survival mode. They know what's coming for them. They know the bloodline's wrath is about to rain down with biblical fury. So what do? Do they stand alone and try to fight off the entire faction by themselves? Do they seek allies, forming a new group to defend against the inevitable retaliation? Do they show remorse and try to explain their actions, hoping against hope for some kind of understanding? Or do they double down, embrace the villain role, and declare that attacking Jacob Fatu was just the opening move in a larger plan to destroy the bloodline from within? Every possibility leads to must-see television. Every scenario creates compelling storytelling that will keep us glued to our screens week after week. And that's the mark of truly great wrestling, when a single revelation opens up so many potential storylines that you can't wait to see where it goes next. The crowd reactions have been telling too. You can feel the shift in energy, the way fans are processing this information and choosing sides. Some are sympathetic to the attacker, believing they might have had valid reasons for their actions. Others are firmly in the bloodline's corner, believing that betrayal of this magnitude deserves swift and merciless punishment. And still others are just here for the chaos, excited to watch everything burn and see who emerges from the ashes. What I love most about this moment and why I'm so fired up talking to you about it right now is that it reminds us why we fell in love with wrestling in the first place. It's not just about athletic competition. It's not just about who can execute the best suplex or land the perfect finishing move. It's about stories. It's about characters we care about making choices that have real consequences. It's about emotional investment that makes us argue with our friends, make predictions we're willing to defend, and lose our minds when something unexpected happens. Nick Aldis deserves credit here too. His performance delivering this revelation was pitch perfect. He could have been sensational about it, playing it for drama and making it all about himself. Instead, he was measured, professional, treating the moment with the gravity it deserved. You could see in his demeanor that he understood the weight of what he was doing, that he wasn't just revealing information for shock value, but that he was trying to bring order to chaos, to deliver justice in a situation that had spiraled out of control. As we move forward into the coming weeks, there are so many questions that need answers. Will Jacob Fatu confront his attacker face to face? Will Roman Reigns demand a match where he can personally exact revenge? Will this lead to a larger faction war with multiple stables getting involved? Will someone unexpected step up to defend the attacker, revealing hidden alliances we didn't know existed? The uncertainty is delicious. The anticipation is almost unbearable. And that's exactly what great wrestling should feel like. I keep thinking about the ramifications beyond just the immediate storyline. This affects championship pictures. This affects WrestleMania plans. This affects who gets pushed and who gets sidelined. WWE Creative has to be working overtime right now, mapping out every possible direction this could go, making sure they stick the landing on what could be one of the most significant angles of the year. And you know what? Whether you love this twist or hate it, whether you think it's genius or whether you're skeptical about where it's heading, the fact that we're all talking about it, that we're all invested, that we all have strong opinions, that is what matters. That is what makes wrestling special. We're not just consumers of entertainment. We're participants in an ongoing conversation about storytelling, character development, and what makes for compelling drama. So here's where I need you one more time. This video, this breakdown, this moment we've shared together talking about something we both love, it means everything to me. SlamZone exists because of passionate fans like you who want to go deeper than just watching the show. You want to understand the why, the how, the what comes next. You want to be part of a community that celebrates this incredible art form we call professional wrestling. Hit that like button if this video gave you value, if it made you think, if it got you even more excited about what's coming next. Subscribe to SlamZone and join this growing family of wrestling fanatics who aren't afraid to feel every emotion these stories deliver. Smash that notification bell, because when the next bombshell drops, when the next shocking moment happens, when the next twist leaves us all speechless, you need to be here with me, breaking it down, figuring it out together. Comment below with your thoughts. I'm reading every single one and I genuinely want to know what you think happens next. Who's going to strike first? How does the bloodline retaliate? Is this the beginning of the end for Roman's empire, or is this just another obstacle they'll overcome? Share this video with everyone you know who loves wrestling, because moments like this deserve to be discussed, debated, and celebrated. Nick Aldis just changed the game. Jacob Fatu's attacker has been exposed. The fallout is going to be legendary. And we're going to be here every step of the way, breaking down every moment, analyzing every development, and experiencing every emotional high and low together. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for caring about wrestling as much as I do. This is SLAMZONE, and I'll see you in the next one when we continue following this story as it unfolds. Stay passionate, stay loud, and never stop believing in the power of great wrestling storytelling.